Freeholder Sullivan.
Here.
Freeholder Tonelli.
Here.
Freeholder Voss.
Here.
Chairwoman Sir.
Here. Evidence of a quorum is present. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please read the minutes to be accepted?
February 15th, 2017, work session, Freeholders Gans and Tonelli absent.
May I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The minutes are unanimously approved. May I now have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The meeting is now open to the public. We will have a hearing of the general public with a 3-minute time limit in effect in accordance with Bergen County Freeholder bylaws. The board attorney is going to keep the time, and when the time of the speaker expires, the timekeeper is going to announce that the time has expired. If you haven't done so already, please fill out a slip of paper with your name, address, and the general topic on which you wish to speak. Claude Bingsnock.
Claude Meanstock, Fairlawn. Good evening. I heard 30 minutes ago that Maura Di Nicole's father died. Deepest condolences. I don't have her phone number. I don't have any information. I just heard. So if anyone here working for the Freeholders or the Freeholders can convey my deepest sympathies and condolences on her father's passing. I was very saddened to hear about that. I heard that she told me her mother a year ago was not feeling well, and had a lot of medical issues. It's sad to hear this. Also, I want to comment about the anti-Semitic incidents across the country. They should be punished severely. These are really very sick, evil people, sinful people, and there's some crazy people out there that will do stupid things, like destroying Jewish cemeteries and writing swastikas all over. Another comment I want to make is I want to thank Julian and Niels for helping me with the parking situation. I was able to park in the parking lot here, and usually I can park in the garage. I appreciate all your help with doing that. I wish you success in all your endeavors. And I have to say, anybody that can solve a parking situation correctly can almost solve every problem out there. I appreciate your hard work and service to the people of Bergen County, of all political parties and views, and trying to help the people. And I wish you success for the future, whatever position you take in the future. I want to wish everybody the very, very best, and thank you for all the hard work you do.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Neil Weissman.
Good evening, Chairwoman, sir. Freeholders, thank you for the opportunity to update you on the advocacy to widen the George Washington Bridge paths. Tonight I will touch on 3 areas: current support, bicycle tourism, and public health. You have copies of extended remarks plus an op-ed published in Crane's New York Business. Of the 429 comments that the Port Authority received on their capital plan, 252 concerned the George Washington Bridge paths. That's more than the bus terminals and path combined. That's in addition to 13 out of 30 public speakers. There are now 150 organizations, businesses, elected officials, and government organizations in support. The boroughs of Edgewater, Fort Lee, Englewood Cliffs, combined with the city of Yonkers and 8 community boards in Manhattan and the Bronx, comprise a solid crescent of 1.25 million residents. Bicycle tourism. In New York, Governor Cuomo has proposed spending $200 million on the Empire State Trail, which will stretch from New York City to Canada and from Buffalo to Vermont. Combined with the new Tappan Zee, New York will invest $500 million in active transportation in the Hudson Valley. But even with these 2 facilities coming online, Bergen could see an immediate decline in cycle tourism if the GWD ceased to function as a cycling facility. You've got a pair of studies showing that the physical activity spawned by wider GWD paths will be an incredibly cost-effective public health intervention. One of them applying a World Health Organization model to just weekend cycling shows that the increased activity would prevent 20 deaths per year, worth $200 million. The app is available online. You can run it on any county facility or any proposed cycling facility you have in mind. Also, a study by doctors at the Columbia School for Public Health found that each quality-adjusted life year resulting from the increased physical activity would cost $833. In lay terms, that's 14 times more cost-efficient a public health intervention than vaccinating kids against the flu. So the facility stands to have a profound impact on the county. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Is there any other public comment? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
So, second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The meeting is now closed to the public. Will the clerk please read the resolutions on the consent agenda?
Resolutions 19217 through Resolution 22517.
May I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Freeholder Amoroso.
Yes.
Freeholder Gans is absent. Freeholder Ortiz.
Yes.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Yes.
Freeholder Tonelli.
Yes.
Freeholder Ross.
Yes.
Chairwoman Zerf.
Yes. Are there any resolutions of non-consent pulled or tabled?
None.
We will now go on to our ordinance for the second reading and adoption. Will the clerk please read ordinance 17-01 by title only?
The proof of publication of the ordinance notice of public hearing was published in accordance with the law and is on file in my office. A copy of the notice of hearing and ordinance number 1701 was duly posted pursuant to NJSA 40A:2-15 on Friday, February 24, 2017. The ordinance by title only is Bond Ordinance Funding a Temporary Emergency Appropriation by the County of Bergen, authorizing critical facade repairs to the Bergen County Justice Center, appropriating $1 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $952,000 in bonds or notes of the county to finance the cost thereof.
May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
So second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The public hearing is now open to the public. The public is welcome to speak regarding this ordinance only, with a 5-minute time limit in effect. The board attorney will keep the time. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to comment on this bond ordinance? May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The public hearing is now closed. Is there any board discussion on ordinance 17-01? County Administrator, do you wish to?
Just with regard to an update that the drawings have been primarily completed, and for the public's purposes, this involves some very substantial limestone that is part of the structure and facade of the courthouse. We anticipate that the work will not start until, as our DPW director advised, till there's the fall season, which we would anticipate this should be in the next few weeks, and probably would complete in 6 to 8 months after that. So during that time period, that area of the courthouse will still remain closed as far as that entrance is concerned.
Freeholder Tonelli?
Chairwoman, as was mentioned at our previous meeting, when this was under first reading, the fact that this administration now has to go for $1 million to do repairs due for the fact that the infrastructure on a lot of our county buildings, our roads, have been in decline and not maintained. This just shows the effort of what this administration is finally trying to put things back. If you ignore it long enough, the walls start to crumble, and that's exactly what's going on now. It's becoming a serious danger and a threat to the residents, and now we find ourselves having to do emergency appropriations to repair it. I know that the administration with Julian and our county executive are trying to be proactive, as trying to locate these things before they become a problem and actually start working on infrastructure and have a plan moving forward. I just want to thank them for taking care of this as quickly as they are and trying to do the right thing financially to get this rectified. Thank you.
Thank you, Fielder Tonelli. It should be noted that as it was stated at our work session, that everything there at this point is safe and secure, that the entrance has been closed, that the entryway now into the courthouse is now on a different section and has been done seamlessly in cooperation and a wonderful cooperation with Judge Misdahl and all of those at the courthouse. And thank you to the administration for doing that. Is there anyone else who wishes to comment on the bond ordinance? May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 17-01 as read by the clerk?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Fielder Amoroso?
Yes.
Fielder Gaines is absent. Fielder Ortiz?
Yes.
Fielder Sullivan?
Yes.
Fielder Tonelli?
Yes.
Fielder Voss?
Yes.
Chairwoman Reserve?
Yes.
By a motion of 6 to 1 absent, it is adopted.
We'll now have freeholder committee reports. Fielder Tonelli, why don't you start us off?
Thank you, Chairwoman. So tonight, this board passed unanimously resolutions 224-17 and 225-17, which will provide us with a tremendous opportunity to work with two nonprofit organizations, the MGA, the Metropolitan Golf Association, which has chosen Darlington Golf Course to be the host site of the New Jersey qualifier of the 70th MGA Public Links Championship. Resolution 225-17 is with the New Jersey State Golf Association, which has chosen our Rockley Golf Course to be the host site for its 13th NJSGA Men's Public Links Championship. This is truly a prestigious honor for the Bergen County Park System. I'd like to thank and commend our Parks Director, Jim Coate, for the great work he's doing promoting our Bergen County parks and our golf courses. We will benefit from the customary additional play and increased practice rounds in advance of the championship. It's just another great opportunity for us to showcase our park facilities and our golf courses here in Bergen County. And I know that there's plenty more on the horizon, so I'd just like to commend our Parks Director. That'll conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fielder Tonelli. Fielder Ortiz.
Thank you. In the past week or so, I attended the 98th Korean independence from Japanese oppression. It was attended by Freeholder Chair Sir and Amoroso. It was sponsored by the Korean American Association. It was a movement that was started with 33 Christian leaders in 1919. And unfortunately, they wanted a peaceful march, and it became basically a massacre where over 7,500 were killed, thousands were injured, and many churches were mostly started by Christian leaders. So it was nice that the county and we were able to observe the independence. In the past few weeks, I've mentioned Freeholder Amoroso and I am trying to meet with many of the directors at the county, and this past week we were able to meet with the Community Development Director, Bob Esposito, of which he gave us a tour of a couple of facilities that have received community development block grants. It's a very big concern because right now under the environment in Washington, we don't know how they're going to be affected. And it would be devastating to the county because they put this money to great use with many facilities, starting off with the Christian Health Care Center in Wyckoff, 530 beds, nonprofit organization, which they received over $500,000 of grants. The Eastern Christian Children's Retreat, which was founded in 1965. It's also a nonprofit supporting individuals with a broad range of disabilities. They received $750,000 in the last 3 years. Children's Aid and Family Services, that was founded since 1899 and they've been really focusing on dealing with the opioid epidemic in Bergen County, which has been a serious problem throughout the county and throughout the state and nationally. They also provide child care for low-income families, and they receive close to $1 million through block grants. We also got to see Brightside Manor, which is an affordable housing to low-income seniors. And this was constructed new low-income housing in Teaneck, which from there they call Brookdale. They received close to $1 million as well. So overall, these are great programs that they could be heard. Hopefully, this won't be affecting us because we really need it throughout the county, throughout communities. And this morning we met with ADD Director Cohen, in which we discussed different programs which the county has for domestic violence, and how we're probably one of the few counties throughout the state that actually provide these services through the county. Most of them are usually through nonprofit organizations or through churches, and I'm extremely proud to be able to provide these services to many of the people involved, which it can be men and women. And they have a great program in which they start early in the high schools and the middle schools, and they discuss as more of an education on how, relationships and how to treat others. So I commend them to continue to do this program. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Field Box.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I corrected myself because today, March 8th, is International Women's Day. And every year there's a theme, and this year's theme is for women to bold for change. And this March is also Women's History Month, and I'll be talking a great deal about that as weeks go on. Women's History Month started out as today, one day, then it was a week, and now it's a full month. And this year's theme is honoring trailblazing women in labor and business. And if you go out to the hall, you will see several books that have been written about how women are progressing. But we still, as they say, have a long way to go, baby, because we haven't. Although we're 53% of the population, there's still much that has to be done. We all attended the opening of 2 Bergen Plaza, which is an unbelievably beautiful building, and I can't wait for the older building to be renovated and come back to its former beauty. And this is where we have the sheriff's office and the prosecutor's office and the tax office, and people will be so pleasantly surprised when they go into this building at how beautiful it is. And again, I want to commend our county executive for all of the hard work that he put in to make sure that this came in on time and under budget. Most of us, I think, did Read Across America, okay? Having been a teacher, whenever I have an opportunity to get into a classroom, I'm happy as anything. And I taught seniors in high school, and so when I get an opportunity to work with preschool children and first graders, it is just a hoot and a half for me. And the first thing I say to them when I get in there is, what's the most important thing you will learn in school? And they look at me like, okay. Reading. I said, once you learn how to read, it will open up all kinds of doors for you, and your life will not be the same. And it's so much fun because I went to this little preschool in Cliffside, and this one little kid raised her hand and said, may I hug you? I got about 45 hugs that day, and they came back for seconds. I have to say, I also went to Lodi, which I have done for many, many years, and they really go all out with all the characters. The kids in the high school dress up, and it really, really brings home how important it is for little ones to learn the joys of reading. Going back to the Women's History Month, most of us went to the Bergen Building Trades Stake the other night, and I was very, very happy to see many, many women are now being employed in the building trades. And this morning, I guess all of us went to the Fleshman Jump-a-thon. I have to tell you that Bergen County is so fabulous in the programs that they have for children with special needs. And I've been going to Fleshman now for over 14 years, and these kids who are severely disabled put on this jump-a-thon to raise money for the American Heart Association. And they've been doing it for 22 years. And so far they've raised in excess of $70,000 for the American Heart Association. And I have to commend children, having a great time and laughing and interacting with one another. It just makes your heart happy. And again, I want to thank Dr. Lerner for all that he has done. I'm involved with an organization called Marble Jam Kids. It was started 10 years ago. And for anybody that has a disabled child or a child on the autism spectrum, Marble Jam is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. It provides psychotherapeutic services and support enrichment programs to meet challenges of individuals with autism spectrum disorders, developmental disability, emotional and social challenges, and other special needs. If you're interested in Marble Jam, just go on your computer and Google Marble Jam, and you will find out if you have a special needs child or you know someone who does, that there are wonderful programs that are developed for them and giving them, the social interaction that they need. Several people will be honored tomorrow night at their dinner for their celebrating their 10th anniversary. And among the honorees will be Dr. Manny Alvarez, who many of you have seen on TV, and me. And I am so honored that they have selected us because we have spent many, many years trying to get awareness for people on the autism spectrum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Elder Sullivan.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Thank you, Freeholder boss. Very report. She says she gets extra help. She always gets extra help. No matter where she goes, I give her extra help.
Thank you.
I want to bring attention to a couple of ordinances we passed this evening. 19217, which is a community development block grant for Cliffside Park for $120,000. This is for the Grantwood Park Basketball Court Rehabilitation Project. They'll be doing drainage, acrylic surfaces, and everything else to make the community great. So the community block grants are out there. I'm glad the towns are taking advantage of them and using them. And also 19917, resolution authorizing contracts with respite healthcare agencies from the Division of Disability Services. This grant will allow, there'll be a fund of over $400,000 that will allow people that are caretakers of elderly or sick people to be able to take a break, or if God forbid they get sick as well and they are not able to take care of their other person that they're taking care of. This will allow them to take care of them, so the other person will have to go into a home. So it's just something that we continue here to do in Bergen County. I think our disability services are none of the best that you can find anywhere. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Recently, last week, I was honored as Irishman of the Year in Hudson County. They don't want me in Bergen County. I was born in Hudson County, and they traditionally honor someone who has lived there or has an impact on the county. And I do a lot of work in Hudson County with my union, so I want to thank my Freeholder colleagues for taking the ad out. Everyone else up here for getting the ad out and supporting it for the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick. They have a parade on Sunday, which I will be attending. Bergenfield also will be having a county parade on Sunday for St. Patrick's Day. That starts at 2 p.m. in Bergenfield. The Irish flag raising will be Friday, March 10th here at the county at 12:30. Of course, I get all the Irish stuff to tell everyone, which is good. And that'll be at 12:30 here. Giving some closure remarks there. I would hope to see everybody out there. The other day, I actually got to attend the grand opening for Habitat for Humanity house in Bergenfield. It was just great. The mayor and council from Bergenfield was there, Senator Eustace, myself, and it's just wonderful that a family's getting an opportunity to Habitat for Humanity. And I want to thank the people in Bergen County and everyone on the Habitat for Humanity that came out and gave this family an opportunity to be homeowners instead of renters, which is just fantastic. I obviously did read Across America, as Freeholder boss had mentioned. Probably didn't get as many hugs as she did, but I always have to go to my wife's school or else I won't have dinner when I go home. I got no hugs. That's Freeholder finale. Thank you. So that was great. I love doing it. We also attended quite a few schools, and the Freeholder boss hit the nail on the head. I tell the children the same thing.
once you can read, it opens every door in the world, and that's the main, main thing to success is being able to read. So it's a proud honor of mine to do, and I'm very happy to do it. Last thing I want to end on is I just want to give my condolences to Morgan Nicole, former freeholder, on the passing of her father. I understand the wake is this evening. It's in Nanuet, so I don't know if I'll be able to get up there, but just my condolences to the Nicole family. Thank you.
Freeholder Amoroso.
We are hearing the drumbeats that the environment in Washington, D.C. is having its impact on Bergen County. County Clerk John Hogan says both weddings and passport applications are way up. Hogan performed 16 weddings last week, 22 this week. Hogan said people are not only professing their commitment to each other, they also seem to be trying to secure their legal residency status. At the Bergen County Board of Social Services meeting yesterday, Acting Director Bob Calosino said food stamp cases are down by 94 this month. Calosino said a lot of recipients just are letting their program expire. He said he presumes many of these folks are undocumented people who don't want immigration agents to have a record of where to find them. And today when Freeholder Ortiz and I met with the folks from Alternatives to Domestic Violence, both the director, David Cohen, and Freeholder Ortiz voiced the fear that immigrant families will be less likely to report domestic abuse because if the abuser is arrested, he could be deported. Last week, I attended the first meeting of the year for the Greater Bergen Community Action Board. Greater Bergen Community Action is moving out of its offices on Moore Street in Hackensack. They are partnering with a developer to build a 106-unit apartment building on the site with commercial space on the first floor. The money Community Action receives will be plowed back into other projects, most notably probably the plans for some sort of transit village in Garfield. On Saturday, I attended Ramapo College's 34th Annual Distinguished Citizens Dinner, where we heard about the college's plan for a $40 million new library and technology center. President Peter Mercer calls Ramapo the Harvard of Bergen County. I should note that Ramapo College has admissions people on site at Bergen Community Colleges, I'm told 3 days a week, to help transition community college students to Ramapo's four-year program. On Monday, Freeholder Ortiz and I did a tour of nonprofits funded in part by the Bergen County Division of Community Development. We met a 107-year-old woman in Christian Healthcare's Medical Day program, and we saw infants a few months old at the preschool program at Children's Aid and Family Services in Paramus. We also met with Jerry Binney, who is now the head of Children's Aid and Family Services. Binney served a couple of stints as acting county administrator. We heard about a remarkable program just being started this month under the aegis of Children's Aid and Family Services. Trained counselors, who themselves often were revived from heroin overdose by Narcan, will be dispatched to the hospital bedsides of Narcan revival patients to talk to those patients in the moment of crisis about options and services. The dispatch will be through the Law and Public Safety Operations Center in Mahwah. The program will keep in touch with these patients, these revival patients, in an ongoing fashion. I do want to congratulate our own Tommy Sullivan on being named Irishman of the Year by the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick of Hudson County, who were indeed friendly to Chairwoman Sir, Freeholder Ortiz, and I when we were at Tommy's coronation Saturday night. Finally, after, he got a sash and everything, it was so attractive. Finally, after 47 years of daily masses, Ash Wednesday marked the last day for Catholic services at a chapel incongruously located at Bergen Town Center, formerly the Bergen Mall. The Catholic chapel is looking for a new home in another shopping center, but the Carmelites who run the chapel have been paying less than $10 a square foot for their sacred space, while of course retail space in Paramus goes for between $25 and more than $50 a square foot. So we wish the Carmelites well in their search for a new chapel. And that is my report.
Thank you very much, Freeholder. Coronation. the dark. A transformer was hit, and we lost power about an hour in. But there were candles, and people still enjoyed conversation, and it was still a wonderful way of honoring our Irish community here in Bergen County. I am actually not going to be at the parade in Bergenfield this year for, I think, the first time in like 8 years, because I'm actually going to be in Ireland visiting my son in Dublin, where he's studying at Trinity, so I think I get partial dispensation this year. Partial. This week we had a press conference announcing a really exciting partnership with Passaic County where our consumer affairs divisions are going to be merged. You know, last year our consumer affairs department saved Bergen County residents $585,000 in restitution that was gained, and has really been doing an outstanding job as far as making sure that victims of consumer fraud are recompensated. And so now to be able, fraud doesn't know county lines, and for us to be able to partner with Passaic County, it's really an innovative thing. We're the first ones in the state of New Jersey to do something of this sort, and it shows that we're, being so mindful of always trying to create efficient and effective government and doing more with less, and really being innovative and thinking outside the box. So I'm very much looking forward to Passaic County now, not just being our neighbor, but also being our partner in trying to do the best for all of our residents. We received an update regarding the Bergen County Care Fair, which is, we want everyone to get on their calendar. It's April 23rd, and it's going to be from 12 to 5 at the Hasbrook Heights Hilton. This is an opportunity where all these different vendors and all these different service providers throughout our county are going to be highlighting the services that go on throughout Bergen County for people with special needs, people with mental health issues, healthcare issues, education issues, veteran service issues. This is all going to be going on under one roof. There will be buses going from senior centers in Northvale, East Rutherford, Palisade Park, Midland Park, and Bergenfield to make sure that people who need to obtain this information have the ability to get there and find out. So I encourage all who can attend to be there. I think it's going to be a very informative day. Many of us also went to a dedication last week of Mola Boulevard in Elmwood Park, named for the 45-year mayor, and he served 23 years on this board of chosen freeholders as well. Dick Mola was a quintessential public servant, and whether we agreed with him 1,000% of the time or not, we always knew that his heart was in the right place, and having this fitting tribute, naming a street for him right in the heart of town is certainly a wonderful tribute. Unfortunately, this week, as Ms. Greenstock referred to, we had to go to a press conference at the JCC at the Palisades in Tenafly, where Governor Christie and Senators, both Menendez and Booker, as well as Congressman Pasquarello, Congressman Gottheimer, our legislative delegation, freeholders were there, in the wake of the epidemic of bomb scares and the desecration of the Jewish cemeteries, speaking out in a bipartisan way about the fact that this is just not okay. And unfortunately, I also went yesterday in Mahwah to a press conference with Mayor LaForette in the wake of a swastika being found on an abandoned building in Mahwah as well. And I think one of the things, as grandchild of someone who escaped from Latvia right before the Nazis came, this kind of rearing of the head of this hatred is especially offensive and upsetting. And one of the things that we spend a lot of time with the flag raisings and all the different community outreach, and we realize so emphatically, is that our diversity is our strength here in Bergen County. And I know that I think I speak for all of my colleagues as we say that we're going to be standing up against not only this religious intolerance, but also all of the hatred that we see rearing its head within our community. This is, as I said, it's not a partisan issue, but the embers of that hatred have certainly been fanned with rhetoric. And it's especially important that we stand together to speak out and say that hate has no home here. And whether we're Jewish or Muslim or Hindu or Christian or Catholic or Sikh or atheist or African American or Latino or Korean or Irish or Italian, we're all American and we're all residents of this county, and we know that we are stronger together and that we are not going to sit silently by as hate rears its head. So on that note, can I have a motion to adjourn?